Auto Works. Now today I know we've been held up a little bit for a few months on our XJ camper project, but we're making a little bit of headway on it. And also I want to show you guys today what's going on with it. All right, before we get started here, I'll introduce you to my son Landon. He's here in the shop working with us today and all. But on the camper here, we're gonna first thing we got already made up is our mud box. Now, a lot of overlander guys understand a mud box and all. I turn around and I had some old leftover seconds, some steel from some projects I had, and I went ahead and carried it to a friend of mine at a metal shop, and he went ahead and bent my side panels for me right here, bent those, come in, and then bent this piece here for me so I could go ahead and weld these four sides together, bolts on with two bolts right there. Now some of you might be asking about this aluminum mesh in the bottom, you know, or expanded metal is what the proper term for it. Well, the idea behind that right there is whenever you have some scotches, you know, wheel scotches, maybe some old 4x4s, 2x4 blocks and stuff that you want underneath your wheels. Well, whenever you get ready to leave and you pick up these old dirty, muddy type blocks and you throw them off into your toolbox or in the back of your vehicle or whatever, they're gonna have mud and dirt on them. You throw them in a box like this, then you can turn around and just hose it out right quick and all your mud's gone. So this is made so that you can throw those blocks off in there. You can throw old dirty straps in it, ain't no ropes, dirty shoes, you got muddy shoes, toss them off in there. And then that way you can just hose it out right quick and everything's safe and secure. Now this is not a toolbox, it's a mud box. So that's how that kind of works out. I did design a lock on the front right there, so I can just put me a lock there with this a diamond deck here on the outside. Wanted to put that there so that, you know, this will make a good little seating area. You sit down or you're got the lid up and you're sitting in here. If you want to throw your feet out here, you can do it. So that's kind of why that's like that. So that's kind of our mud box right there, and it turned out real good. It didn't take me too long to do it. I just had to bend a few pieces of metal and make sure I get the measurements right. And you'll notice that actually from here it doesn't look that deep, but of course that second bottom makes it pretty deep right there. So it's pretty deep. So it worked out real well for me. Of course, you got to get it painted. I get everything done first before I do my painting. I'll talk to you about that before. All right, going on to our inside here, I did go ahead and make this extra little shelf while we were camping and everything. You know, I was kind of needing somewhere to set a little heater at or my phone or anything like that. I made this little cutout piece of carpet. That's just made out of plywood. Now, it will pop out of there pretty easy. It just slides right out. Wouldn't be any problem, but I can scoot it back. You know, grandchild wants to lay up there, they can lay up there and sleep or whatever. So, you know, I still got room to put a little TV up there whenever we get around to that. But we've been camping in this, and it's done real well and all for us. So, if we come back out, we see the mud box, the shelf, and then I got my bin plate, which is over on this side. Went ahead and just took me a little piece of aluminum, used some stamps right there, and just stamped me a nice little piece of aluminum out, put my bin plate on it. I call this a 93 because the main body was a 93. Everything I've had on this is just old used material, so I guess it's not a brand new one, so I just call it a 93. And of course, I went to my local tag office and everything, got my tag and all. It's not too hard around here to get a tag, so got my tag for it. And so that's worked out real well. The next part of this is going to be the roof rack. Okay, and it's going to be a regular style a nice size roof rack, you know, that I can put stuff up there and all. But I'm doing it a little bit different than most people do. A lot of people usually takes the old triangles and puts them right there in the drip edge. And I'm not knocking anybody for doing it. I've done it myself. I've used that system before. Works well. But on a Cherokee, a lot of people don't understand how the roof comes together on these Cherokees. And you just have this actual little lip right here. And if that triangle gives way, then it's coming off of there. And I went back and forth on my original Cherokee of how to do this, because see, the drip edge also carries this little trim up here. So don't let this trim fool you on the Cherokee. It's just basically two-sided tape and a metal clip that just holds this thing on. For any of you Cherokee guys, you know how this works, and sometimes they come loose and they're not really meant for any kind of support. So there's not a lot of edge there to really hang on to. So I did mine a little bit different than everybody else does. I actually used 1 by 1.5 angle, and this angle here is something I had a friend at the metal shop bend for me. Just a bank regular 1.5 by 1 angle right here. And of course you see right here that, wow, roof's bowed, but my angle's not. That's not a big deal right there. Some of you might be wondering, how in the world to get that bow in it? Well, by putting it on a good solid foundation and by hitting it down through here and just gradually going down through there, slowly take a bow. And it will arch on you, and it will continue to arch. Then when you do get the arch that you're pleased with, then you drill each one of the holes so that your rev nuts can go ahead and it be anchored back down to the original mounting location that the AMC Jeep had designed into it. Now you might think, well, won't that crush your roof panel and all? Well, let me show you my old Cherokee and show you how I did it same way. And so far, it's worked well. As a matter of fact, I carried some plywood today on this thing. And a few year and a half ago, I'd actually carried a bunch of lumber on this thing. And this is the same thing. The only difference is this is the actual true 1.5 by 1 inch angle. And I'm sorry, it's a 1.5 by 2. I'm sorry, angle there. And I can't seem to get that anymore, so I just had to have my friend bend that for me, that new stuff. So I basically did that, the same concept with this. I hammered that on my table, got my arch I needed, drilled my holes, put my bolts in there, got it fitting well, made my rack, set my rack up there, made my marks where I needed to be and how deep I needed to cut into it. And then once it fit real well, then I covered everything up, made me a few beads down through here, and this thing is solid. I have carried probably, I don't know, as far as lumber wise, probably 800-900 pounds worth of lumber on this rack, and it did not crush the roof. So it turned out real well on both sides. You can see how I did it without having to use the triangular plates off in my gutters, because I was just real hesitant on this edge right here, and that triangular plate ever busting through and sagging and all that. So I did mine a little bit different. Other people do them different ways, but as far as the Cherokee, I do get to utilize the original mounting locations, and so far it's working real well. So that's just kind of an update on our Cherokee XJ camper. Kind of keep you guys in the loop about what's going on. I know we've held off on painting. We will be holding off until we get all this other stuff done first. Then once everything's done, we're to kind of a final state. We throw a quick paint job on it, and then we'll be done with it. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us and watching our videos, and like and subscribe to them, and just have a good day.